Right. Hakan. Hey, buddy. How we doing, bro? Sorry about that, guys. This weather ain't helping my internet. It's just crashed. But yeah, I think we're back, Kieran. Carl. Martin, how are we, buddy? How's things? Big Dan, how we doing? Cheers, Hakan. Thank you, Martin. I just need to get my watch time hours back. YouTube took 1,500 hours off me. I was just short of hitting my 4,000 hour target in a year with the subscribers as well. So, as you know, Martin, they do a yearly thing. So, thanks again, Craig. So, every 12 months, they take X amount of watch time hours off you. So, they took 1,500 hours off me. So yeah, if you can rewatch the videos overnight, guys, just check them on your TV or your phone. That would be much appreciated, and it will help the channel get back up there. Glenn Whitby, thank you very much, buddy. So yeah, every 12 months, YouTube does a refresh, Martin. So you've got to hit 4,000 watch time hours in 12 months. I was over the 4,000 limit. But they don't, do they, Carl? Well, hopefully a lot of the new subscribers haven't watched some of the channel, so thank you, Glenn. I said if you could watch the previous videos, that would help the channel hugely. Yeah, well, that's what's happened with me, Carl. I've lost 1,500 hours, so I'm now on 3,321 hours. So I need to get back up to 4,000 to get my monetized. Well, Stragan, how are you, buddy? Hope you had a good birthday, Paul. Glenn, thank you very much, buddy. It's very much appreciated. And welcome to the channel. Hakan, we're having one or two of these, buddy. Nice one, Paul. I said, sorry about that, guys. This weather isn't exactly helping the internet at the moment. There's a surge box 3 houses down from me, and it gets flooded. So, Andy, thank you very much, buddy. Welcome to the channel. I know that, Carl. I'm not expecting to earn thousands, but something towards bait or fuel would help. As I say, every penny counts. Oh, Hakan, you may like that then. Get the sours in, yeah. You get paid for the watch time hours. So somebody could view for like a minute, but if you get 60 minutes out of that person and then they watch the adverts as well, you get paid more that way. Carl, that covers something towards bait. It's better than a kick in the teeth. Matt, you'd be a millionaire by now, boy. Excuse me. Matt, are you in the house or are you in the shed? And your pee pipe? Martin, basically YouTube get paid by the ad revenues that they take, and then so if you watch the ads, all of the ads, you get paid X amount. It's pittance, but then you also, if your watch time hours hit a certain amount of watch time hours, you get paid on those as well. So it's no peeing out the window then, Matt. Take care, Hakan. I'll speak to you later, bro. Snapshane. I know the feeling. That's why I pump my own blacks, because blacks are £22 a pound down here. No damp issues in your house then, Matt? Cheers all. Thank you very much to 1,000 subscribers. Don't get me wrong. You're never going to make your millions on YouTube unless you're in the top 3-4% of YouTubers. But it's about bringing you guys along as an experience. Yeah, I know that, Carl. But then saying that, that's it, Martin. Exactly. If you can cover some bait and tackle money, it's a win-win situation. I was watching Joe Robinette a couple of months back, and he's on just short of 2 million subscribers, I think. But he was saying he gets, depending on the month and the time, his watch hours, or his view counts, I should say he's got 2 million subscribers argument, then he's only getting like 250,000 views. Now, when you've got 2 million subscribers, it makes hell of a difference. Well, what are we in now? We're in 3.5 years now, Waterside, or Carl, whichever way you want to be called. So it makes a difference when you've got 2 million subscribers, but only 250,000 people are watching. So that's 750,000 people who are subscribed to the channel don't watch it. Says it all, doesn't it? Shane, this is what this is. This is my hobby. If I can get something out of YouTube, bonus. If not, I'm happy doing what I do. That's it, Carl. As I said, it's like you can go through YouTube and see some of these big channels which are talking. Some channels are stupid 28, 30, 35 million views or subscribers, yet only a quarter of them watch the channel. Jack, thank you very much, buddy. You said that, Matt, not me. You said that. Tell you what, as is you. Crunchy. Gotta be the best chocolate they make. I have seen a lot about that, Carl. A lot about it. Sunday, Paul. Sunday. Hopefully. It depends if this weather eases up. I said, for me, we're not quite there, Martin. We got another 2 hours, 15 minutes. For me, I said the channel was about marking my progress, and if it helps anybody, it's a bonus. If I help 15, 20 people, the channel's succeeded in my eyes. Liverpool weren't, Paul. Liverpool was blowing its tits off and the surf was there too. That's it, Shane. I've never proclaimed to be a professional angler. I'm an amateur angler who enjoys what he does. I bring you guys along for the enjoyment. I said, anybody learns anything from the channel, be it cooking, rig making, how to bait up, bonus. Exactly, Carl. Nailed it, buddy. Vicky, hello, my darling. How are we? Vicky will know these straight away. That's only the sweets, It's only the sweet, Shane. Richard, totally agree, buddy. But as I was saying, when you look at channels who've got like 2 million subscribers and then they're not getting 250,000 views, that's a lot of views not to be getting when you've got that amount of subscribers. I've already done one, Welsh Dragon. If you look up the dogfish and amone sauce, there is a recipe on the channel already for dogfish. The only thing is, guys, the cook-ups don't get the views. It's sad, but it's true. Pardon me. That's it, Carl. That's it. I'm happy, as I said, now I got 1,000 views. I get an average of anything up to like 250 views most videos. Yeah, but Paul, if you look at dogfish and amone sauce, that's the catch and cook dogfish on there. How you been keeping, Vicky? Is the weather all right with you out there? Exactly, Martin. But when you're looking at some of these catch and cooks, by the time you purchase ingredients, you're traveling bits and bobs, you're talking it's about 30-40 pounds to make the video, and it's not getting more than 200 views. It's not worth doing. Hope she's doing okay, Craig. Thoughts and prayers go with you and the family, buddy. Peter, if you put the reel low, you'll get more power in the rod. So reel seat down is more effective than reel seat up. Well, I was watching, I said, I looked at my analytics this week, and I believe 52% of my views are unsubscribed. Yeah, Peter, the reel seat down will get more compression in the rod than reel seat up. I noticed that once I changed over to reel seat down, and then I noticed the difference in my casts. I was getting much further distance reel seat down than reel seat up. But as Paul said, it's personal preference as well, depending if you want the distance or not. As you've said yourself, Peter, Guernsey isn't about distance. In the UK, some of the time, or most of the time, if you're going after the bigger species, it is. Yeah, as I said, Craig, all the thoughts are with you and the family, buddy. I said, anytime you need to chat, inbox is always open. You don't go into your arm, Shane. You go into your groin, or you come to your stomach. But from the casting people I've spoken to, Dave, that's what they've said to me, is you get more compression with a reel seat down than what you do with a reel seat up. That's what they've said to me. If that's true or not, yeah, I know that, Paul. I've seen you cast, buddy. But from what I've been told by casting people is you get more compression with the reel seat lower down than what you do further up, because you've got more of the rod to compress. That's it, Carl. I've had this conversation with other people. At the end of the day, put out what you want when you want. As said, Dave, I'm only going by what casting people I've spoken to, and that's what they've said. That's why you see a lot of the anglers will do reel seat down, because you've got more compression to put into the rod than what you do if the reel seat is higher up. That's what I've been told and I've been taught. I said, I'm not a casting expert. I'm self-taught. How I cast is how I've taught myself to cast. We all like one of them, don't we, Shane? As said, Dave, I'm just repeating what I've been taught and told over the years by people who are big casters, and they cast reel seat down. If it does or doesn't make a difference, as said, I'm self-taught, so I couldn't tell you. That's why I don't try teaching people how to cast. I've got my way and my technique, and it works for me. You've seen me cast, Dave, so what works, works. What do you mean you always get burnt fingers? Is the only way you should be getting, if you're slipping while you're casting, I presume your fingers are wet. And if you're getting burnt fingers because you're spooling the reel, just try easing off it. As I said, Welsh Dragon, I was always taught from the people I've spoken to over the years was reel seat down and then your right hand. So your hand is down here, your right hand is up high. And then that through that, you get your compression of your rod. Matt, when we're talking about reel seat up or reel seat down, where you've got your bottom end of your rod, so if your reel seat is up here, that's your reel seat up. If it's down towards the bottom of your rod, that's reel seat down. You'll see a lot of guys will fish reel seat down, and it's about 8 inches from the bottom of the butt. And like, as I said, as I was taught, and I was from the people I've spoken to who fish reel seat down, and that's the reason I was told reel seat down, you get more compression through the rod than what you do as a reel seat up. That's how I was shown how to believe it. If that's true or not, I don't know. But I will say, since I've swapped to reel seat down, I've noticed a difference in my casts and the power I've got. I've got the Fathom casting specials as well, Shane. I've got the Mag 4, which I've upgraded to the ABEC 9 bearings. But as I said, I've noticed a huge difference in my distance on my casting from going to reel seat down compared to reel seat up. Yes, Matt. So basically, when you've got a fixed spool, your reel seat is normally fixed in a reel seat up position. But when you can get a sliding reel seat, so you can put the reel in whatever position you want to put it. So if you want it midway, you can move it down to there, or if you want it further down, you can move it down. That's a sliding reel seat. If you buy a fixed spool reel, 9 times out of 10, they're set at a certain distance. You can take them off and put a sliding reel seat on, so you can put it wherever you want to put it then. But as I said, a lot of the big casters now fish reel seat down. I said, you go check out SAS Fishing with Andy Webb and all that lot. Their reel seat are in the lower position. There's a couple of boys on there. And as I said, their positioning is reel seat down. Mrs. J, thank you very much, darling. How are you doing, Jess? As said, Dave, I used to be reel seat up, but as soon as I went more towards my multiplying casting, I went reel seat down, and I noticed a huge difference in my casting. That's my personal preference on it. As I said, The guys I've spoken to from Puffgall who are big casters, they always said to me reel seat down was more compression in the rod, because you've got more rod to put the power through the rod, compared to if the reel seat's further up, you're losing that extra power in the rod. That's what I was always taught. If it's true or not, I don't know. I said I'm self-taught casting. Yeah, I know that, Lloydie. We were just saying what I was always taught to believe, that reel seat down, you got more compression out of the rod compared to a reel seat up, because you're talking maybe 18 inches in difference in some rods, depending on the size rod you use. So you've got more of the rod to compress and power to go through the blank to compress the rod, where if the reel seat was further up, you're losing that extra power in the rod. That's how I was taught. Shane, we've got some amazing big casters down in South Wales. You've got Amir Begovic, you've got Daith Llewellyn, you've got Steve Howells, all big casters. The list can go on. Some of the big casters we got down in South and West Wales. So we've got some good people to learn from down this way. It's just something I've always been self-taught. You'll be on about the lollipop cast then, Shane. Thank you, Richard. Much appreciated, buddy. Cheers. Don't get me wrong, I'm not fixed spool, I'm high reel. Multiplier, I'm low. That's only because my fixed spool rods are set at high reel up. If, as I said, going from personal experience, going from a fixed spool to multiplier, going from reel seat up to reel seat down, I've gained a lot more distance in reel seat down than reel seat up on a multiplier. That's my personal preference. But as I said, I am self-taught in that art of casting. I've never been to any casting lessons. I've never had anybody try to teach me. So Shane, in our club rule, right, if you are fishing a multiplier, you have to have a shock leader. If you're fishing fixed spool and you're pendulum casting, yet again, you have to have a shock leader. If you're fishing braid, you don't have to. That's in our club rules. So, and that is due to safety. Come down and join us, Dave. You're more than welcome to join the club. It's £10 a year. You pay £5 a match plus £1 for the longest fish. We do, it averages every 2 to 3 weeks is a match. goes either a Saturday or a Sunday. Most of the time it's a Sunday. Come join us, Neyland Sea Angling Club. It is far, Dave. But if you've got nothing around your way, that's your best option. Said you learn different marks, you meet different people, you can learn a lot from these. Said we've got some guys in our matches that are in their 60s and 70s, and they are very good anglers. You learn a lot. As I said, once I'm a self-taught fisherman. I went up the pier at the age of 12 and I got shown how to tie a rig, how to tie a shock leader, how to tie a blood knot, and he gave me a few lessons on casting. That was at 12. Ever since then, I've been self-taught. So yes, Lloyd, not with braid, no. With mono, it's when you go to your shock leader, it's £10 a leader to a pound. Sorry, let me get that right now. So every ounce of lead you use, you have £10 a leader. It's not showing any buffering on my side, Dave. Yeah. So every ounce of, if you go a 6-ounce lead, you need 60-pound shock leader. But when I do my fishing with braid, I'm 65-pound braid straight through. And that's what I use on my club match fishing. I use my fixed spool, and that's 65-pound braid straight through. You can cast 6-ounce lead and 8-ounce lead and bait on 30-pound braid, because Hakan, that's what Hakan uses. But I use 65-pound braid straight through, no matter what ounce weight I use, and I go up to a 7-ounce plus bait. If you're using mono and a shock leader, then it's every ounce is £10 to an ounce. So I use 60 to 70-pound leader to a 6-ounce lead. Matt, this is what these are all about. You learn something new every day. As I said, I go to my club matches and I learn something new every time I go, from rigs to baiting up to different baits for different situations. And this is what the channel is about. I said, I don't come on here and preach that I'm the perfect angler and I know everything, because I don't. I teach what I know and what I've been shown and taught over the years that I've been fishing. Lloyd, yes, that's why I fish 65-pound braid. X8X, I think, is a braid I use. So it's all about personal preference and what works for you. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't go out and fish a 12-pound line with a 6-ounce weight. Never do it. Dave, there's a polite word to that, and it starts with an F and finishes with one. But as said, if I fish fixed spool, it's 65-pound braid. My main line is 18-pound on my multipliers, and I go 18 to 70 pound shock leader. That's my personal preference, because, and I've gone now to a tapered shock leader because the knot is smaller, so it's not always pinging on your eyes, or when you're trying to retrieve, your knot doesn't get stuck on your top ring. That's it, Peter. That's why I've always said, and Dave agrees with me on this one, no question is a stupid question when it comes to fishing, because I may give you an answer to something that you would have thought completely different of, and then Dave will give you an answer completely different to what I've given you, but they both work. As I've always said, and Peter, you know this exactly because you've messaged me many a times, the inbox is always open. If you want to know something or possibility of something, send us a message. If I don't know the answer, I'll pass you on to someone who I think does. No, Shane. I said it's exactly, Dave. Exactly, Carl. Nailed it. You don't, just because somebody fishes one way doesn't mean you have to fish that way. Me and Dave will go after the same species and both fish differently. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it works for you. Doesn't mean you can't try it and then find out for yourself if that works. But always be prepared to try something different. That's what I'm saying. Fishing isn't always about one way. There is 20 different dozen ways to fish. Mrs. Waterside, how are we, darling? At the end of the day, as I said, it doesn't matter. You can be the best angler in the world. If you're not in the right place at the right time, somebody completely novice can come right beside you and catch that fish that you're after. That's just fishing for you. That's it, Peter. Exactly, buddy. You can take all the tips and advice in the world, but at the end of the day, you fish to your style and what suits you best. As I said, I use fixed spool on my match fishing. I don't use my multiplier because a lot of the time, the fish you're catching are 20 yards in front of you. They're not 80, 90, 100, 180 yards out. They're the fish that are 20, 30 yards in front of you. And a fixed spool, a dinky dip, you're happy. On a multiplier, you do a dinky dip, and half the time you're overrunning the spool. It's just the way they work. So, as I said, Match fishing, I use a fixed spool. Pleasure fishing, I go to my multipliers. I said it's you see a lot of inexperienced fishermen then, right, who are just starting out, who don't know how to cast properly, who are casting and they're knocking it 10, 15, 20 yards, and they're catching fish because they're in. And then you see the big boys who are hitting it out at distance and they're not catching fish. Sometimes you don't have to hit it long to catch a fish. They're 10, 15, 20 yards in front of you. And that's a lot of the time, that's where the flounder are. They're in close. Dixie, how are we, buddy? Have you been down Burton lately? I was down there Sunday. Just doggies. Guys, Dixie is a local angler to me. Very good angler as well. Excuse me. When you out next, Dixie? Give us a message. It'd be nice to catch up and have a session with you, buddy. I can shout, "Cod on!" once you've left. Cod Bites, how are we, buddy? Thank you very much. You are joining Neyland Sea Angling Club, you buddy. It'll be nice to fish with you again. Thank you very much, Cod Bites. It's been a long time coming, and it's been a lot of people who have helped. That wouldn't have been me, Dave. Sunday into Monday, it would have been me. Or was it Monday? I can't remember. Hang on. I'll tell you now what night I was out. Messenger. What was the what date was the 20th? Yeah, Sunday into Monday morning. I went out 7:30, about 7, 7:30 Sunday, got home about 3 o'clock Monday morning. Thanks, Shane. No worries, buddy. Take care. But Dave, I've been told there was a £9 something cod caught from under the bridge last week as well. Have you heard about that, Dixie? Yeah, that was under the bridge. I believe that was Sunday night as well, on the opposite side to where I was. I was at Burton Jetty. Hobbs Point is just across from the yonder. I don't know if it was Sunday, but I believe it was. I'll tell you the weight of it now. I was sent Mr. Walkley. What did he say it was? A £9 cod caught on Saturday, sorry. And that was from under the bridge, Dave. I went out on the Sunday, so the night before there was a £9 cod caught under the bridge off the rocks. Amateur angler, they are showing up. Right, I'll be back now, guys. I need a quick pee break. Oh, you got to go when you got to go. Dano, how we doing, buddy? Welcome back. Yeah, but there was a £9 caught under the bridge, which is a decent sized cod. Yeah, we've had nothing but torrential rain and thunderstorm and lightning down this way, Dano. Yeah, Kieran, that's one of my marks I'm going to be fishing now shortly. Well, it must have been good weather if you were out fishing. Mr. Glover, good night, buddy. I'll speak to you later. Paul, cheers, boy. There's some good sized congers up Loreni. Some nice sized rays up to about £8–9. Matt, all bait over this side. You don't get me wrong, you can catch cod on lures, but that's mainly out on the boats in deeper water. That's more towards jigging than lures, but yeah, it's mainly bait fishing for the cod over here. So when you're out next, Kieran, give me a message, buddy. It's been a long time. Yeah, it seems to be flying, that new engine, Dano. Personal opinion, yes, Dave. My personal opinion is when there's too much rain and fresh water in the river, you don't seem to get the cod biting as much. That's from personal opinion. But saying that, Dave, I do know of lads who have caught after heavy rain. So it's each to their own on that one. My opinion is once there's too much fresh water in the river, you ain't catching that many fish. Personally, from my experience. Not to say that you won't catch them, but out of the times I've fished the river after heavy rainfall, I've not been successful. That's personal opinion on it again. Exactly, Carl. Exactly. You've always got a chance. The last cod I caught was on a Welsh black lug that were 12 days old. I pumped them and left them in the fridge, and they were sticky, stinking black lug. I put fresh lug out all night, nothing. I put a sausage out of stinky black lug, and I got a cod straight away. So I said, you're never going to catch a fish sat at home, are you? Unless you've got a fish bowl beside you. Matt, go watch TA Fishing Outdoors. He was catching wrasse on garden worms. So he's got a video showing using garden worms catching wrasse. That's TA Fishing out. TA Fishing, Graham. And he actually shows you in the video baiting up with garden worms, dropping them down and catching wrasse.